Hey everybody, welcome back to the Seasoned Vegan. Today I am going to be showing you how I make my homemade granola, and you can pretty much use this framework for any type of or any flavor granola that you want. Just swap out any of the add-ins. So here are the ingredients that we are going to be using. We're going to start off with some oats. We have some maple syrup, that's to help bind everything together and give some flavor. We've got some nuts. I'm using walnuts and cashews, but you can swap those out for whatever you want. And then we have some coconut oil, vanilla extract, ground cinnamon, and some brown sugar, as well as some salt. So that's pretty much the base granola ingredients. And then on the side here, we have some extra add-ins. So I have some chicory root right here. I was reading that chicory root is very good for gut health. And then I have some seeds, some hemp seeds, flax seeds, and chia seeds here. And then raisins and chocolate chips. Okay, so those are all the ingredients. Now I will show you step by step how I make it. So here are the tools you're going to need actually before we get going. You're going to need a large baking tray with parchment paper on top, a large bowl, a wooden spoon, and a spatula. Where's my spatula? There it is. So pretty easy. And you're going to want to preheat your oven to 350 degrees. All right, first step is to mix our oats, the nuts, the sugar, and the salt, basically all of the dry ingredients. And I do like to give my nuts a rough chop because I just feel like it has, it gives a better bite for the granola. But you can leave your nuts whole if you want. It's totally up to you. You'll just get a chunkier granola. So I'm putting in my walnuts, my chopped walnuts, and now we're going to chop up our cashews. And like I said, you could do almonds or pistachios, whatever it is that you really like, go ahead and do that. So in go my cashews, and to this I'm going to add my brown sugar. Now, my brown sugar did get a little hard, but I have a very quick tip for that. All you're going to want to do is put it in a microwave-safe dish and microwave it for 30 seconds. Sometimes it takes a minute, but after that it should be nice and soft, and you can pack it into your measuring cup for easier measuring. So there we go. We're going to add in this brown sugar here, and then our salts and our cinnamon. And I like to pack it into the measuring cup just to make sure that I'm getting the right amount, because the sugar, when it melts, it's going to help kind of stick everything together. So there we go. All right, I'm putting in the cinnamon, just a 1/4 teaspoon of that. And guys, all the ingredients, all the measurements are going to be in the description below, should you need it. And once the salt is in, we're just going to give all of that a really nice mix. And I make sure to break apart any chunks of brown sugar that are in there, because like I said, I was working with some hard brown sugar. Okay, so once it's all mixed up, then you're going to want to add in all of your wet ingredients, so to speak. So that would be your maple syrup, the melted coconut oil, and your vanilla extract. Okay. And I really like using maple syrup, not only for the stickiness that it provides for granola so that it can clump together, but also for that like rich, deep flavor. I think it's so good, especially mixed with the cinnamon. So as for the coconut oil, I went ahead and I microwaved it for about 30 seconds so that it would melt. And now I'm just going to mix everything in. Now, it's important at this stage to mix everything with a wooden spoon, a pretty wide wooden spoon, because that just helps clumps start to form. Okay. And now we're going to lay it out on our large baking tray. And you do want to use a rimmed one, just so that you can get a very nice flat layer, and you want it to be pretty even. You want everything to be in an even layer, and you want it to all be touching, because that's what's going to help create our granola clumps. Okay. So once it's all in an even layer, we are going to bake it in the oven at 350 degrees, like I said, for 12 minutes. I like to set my timer so I don't forget about it, but around the 10-minute mark, it will start smelling really, really, really good. So you probably won't forget it. All right, 12 minutes later, here's what it looks like. And it's not done yet, but this is a very important step that I highly recommend. Do not skip it. We're going to stir the granola a little bit, and then we're going to press it down very firmly with a spatula. And this just helps with the clumping. I don't really know why, can't figure it out, but this is just what helps. So here we go, just press it down firmly with a spatula. I do recommend using a bigger spatula than the one that I used just now. And then we're gonna bake it for another 12 minutes, okay? So after those 12 minutes are up, it should look very golden brown, just like that. And at this step, or at this stage, what we wanna do is just press it down one more time very firmly, just to make sure that everything is, set. And then we are going to just leave it. We're going to leave it alone for about an hour and just let it cool. And then it will be pretty much ready to break apart. We are going to have to put our add-ons first, which are right here, our raisins, our chocolate chips, our chicory root, and our seeds. But I typically like to wait maybe about, 30 minutes to the whole hour before I put my toppings on, because since I'm using chocolate, I don't want it to melt. But you could go ahead and add the seeds and the raisins if you wanted, totally up to you. So after about an hour, I'm going ahead and I'm putting all the toppings on, starting with my chicory root, and I was trying to get it pretty evenly spread out on my granola, but I mean, easier said than done. I think I did an okay job though. So there we go, all the chicory root on, and now I'm going to throw in my trilogy blend of seeds. That's the hemp seeds, the flax seeds, and the chia seeds. And I think that this just adds such a nice, nutritional boost to granola. So good. All right, so next up is the chocolate. And I was thinking about it. I guess if you wanted to put the chocolate on while it's still warm, it wouldn't be bad. It would just kind of melt into your granola. So totally up to you. Maybe a little messy, but that is up to you. So here go my raisins, and that is pretty much it. I did kind of press the raisins and the chocolate chips into the granola a little bit, but I don't really care about that. Okay, so next we're just going to kind of break apart some of these chunks. Depending on how big or small you want your pieces, you're just going to kind of do it by eye or by feel and do it how you want it. So I like to use a spoon, kind of break apart some of the bigger chunks, and then I go in with my hands. And yeah, I separate them like that, and then I put them into a nice airtight container, and it'll last for, about 2 weeks on your counter. So it's great to make when you just need a quick snack when you're on the go. I like to put them into individual Ziploc baggies, and I have them as a quick snack when I'm headed out the door, or I take them to work with me. Very, very fun. Very, very delicious. And like I said, you could make a whole bunch of different flavors. You could do cardamom, or just vanilla, just chocolate, or add in some different seeds. It's totally up to you. I'm sure pumpkin seeds would be really, really good on this too. So that's it. That's pretty much it, you guys. That's how you make homemade granola. I am going to say one little note though. Granola is one of those things that it's fun to know how to make it, but truthfully, I'm not going to make it all the time. I'd rather just buy it. But for those of you that like to know how to do things, like to make things homemade, or have control over what you're eating, what you're putting into your meals, then this is perfect for you. So I hope you enjoy. I hope you try it. And if you do, please let me know. Did you make it just like this, or did you make it your own special way? Let me know in the comments down below. And don't forget to subscribe and stay tuned, because next video will be a Nutella video. Bye!